Good day to Americans and Americans only. How y'all doing today, bro? Hope you guys are having a good day. So recently, as I was scrolling through social media like all of us losers do, I was coming across this update on the whole situation with ImAllexx. Turns out after a solid year, he finally responded to the whole allegation thing. Well, allegations. I say that, but it's obvious he was low-key, not even low-key, he was just abusive in that relationship. And I mean, after a year, bro, honestly, I forgot. I think we all did. But seeing him come back, I almost expected to hear about how she cucked him and then like blew up his grandmother's house or some shit, you know what I mean? Like, you would think she was a murderer the way this video was almost 2 hours long. God, I gotta listen to ImAllexx yap for an hour and 40 minutes. Yay me. Is what I would have said if I didn't 2x the fuck out of that video. Nobody can sit and endure ImAllexx for that long without pulling their hair out or killing themselves. And hey, if you can, I feel bad for you. That sounds miserable. But anyway, despite the video being that goddamn long, there isn't a whole lot this guy talked about. It was like a few things really, and it's just that yapping over and over again and repeating the same old thing over and over again. It's not even like he really came in with anything serious or like impactful that would really change the whole situation for him. And even if he did, I don't care. I hate ImAllexx. I hated him before this situation, and I'm gonna hate him after it, regardless of what he says. But the least we could do is hear him out, right? Just to see if he was right or wrong in the situation. And I'll break it down for you guys in like less than 40 fucking years, so you guys can just hear it and deduce for yourselves if you can forgive him for his transgressions. Just keep in mind, this was him, by the way, in this clip, in this audio clip I'm about to play right now, of his voice, ImAllexx. This was him.
I'm gonna fucking bash your fucking head against the wall with a brick if you don't shut the fuck up.
On to the topic. Alright, so one of the first things he really mentioned was this whole thing with Claire's Law. And if you're not a genius like ImAllexx, I can look up with you what Claire's Law even is.
Claire's Law, often known officially as a domestic violence disclosure scheme or similar, designates several ways for police officers to disclose a person's history of abusive behavior to those who may be at risk from such behavior. It is intended to reduce intimate partner violence.
For anybody that wasn't listening, it's basically just a registry for domestic abusers. It lets people know that you were abusive in a relationship, basically. And that's going and staying on your record. Do I think that ImAllexx deserves that on his record? Absolutely. Let's put that shit on there twice while we're at it. Why not, right? Find a way to put double homicide on this guy's record. I won't even bat an eye at it. Now, if you've never heard of this law, you're more than likely American, and that's because it's more of a UK thing, really. I don't think we have Claire's Law over here. And if we do, I've never heard of it. Now, it's probably because I've been single since like 2021. Couldn't get a girlfriend if I wanted to. And I don't. But I did look up if there's Claire's Law in the US, and it's basically just asking about your spouse's or your partner's background, you know, their record. So I'm assuming based off of this very reliable Google search that Claire's Law is over here, alright? For some reason in this search they included that this works for both heterosexual and homosexual relationships. Not sure if this article was made like before they had rights or some shit, but whatever. Appreciate the tidbit of information. Anyway, ImAllexx also ended up mentioning a whole lot of like little spats they had in their text messages. A lot of it was for some reason fighting about the cat, of all things. Like, you guys are hitting on each other. Oh yeah, by the way, she's also abusive, in case I forgot to add that little information. She's abusive too. Surprise, surprise. I mean, you hit someone and you don't expect them to hit back, then you're just an idiot. That's just what life is. And hey, I don't know who hit first. I don't really care. But like, seriously, the way they were talking about this cat, you think they couldn't find a way to split custody on the weekends. Like, it seemed like this cat was the only thing holding this relationship together, and even then, I wasn't convinced. It really just seems like the cat was an excuse for them to continue grilling on each other and hitting on each other for the entire duration of the relationship. And if that was the case, leave. Matter of fact, that's another thing that they have, like, both brought up during this relationship, is how much they're gonna leave each other and how they're gonna end this relationship, and never ended up doing that. You know, I feel like you guys wouldn't even be in this shit show. You wouldn't be in this, like, stupid feud that is now public and on the internet and for everybody to criticize if you just left like you said you would. I really just feel like ImAllexx got a chance to crack, and, like, now that he had her, he was afraid to let her go, because if he did, he would never get that chance again with anyone. And I mean, look at him. But, like, if Myron from Fresh and Fit can convince his girlfriend that she lets him cheat on her, I feel like ImAllexx's ugly ass can get somebody to let him hit, bro. I don't think it would be impossible. Speaking of cheating, that's another problem they had. I don't know, I guess his girlfriend was kind of like looking at things and leaving likes on things on the internet about people saying that he didn't deserve her and that she's definitely cheating, that ImAllexx looks like a Hallmark movie villain. Alright, I added that one myself, but what I'm saying is he made a whole big deal about the things that she was liking on the internet, and while I do think it's kind of fucked up that you're in a relationship leaving a like on people saying that you're totally cheating on your man, like that's a perfect example of mental abuse, to be honest. These are guys on the internet that have probably a less chance of getting a girlfriend than he does, but he's getting so worked up about it that he just can't seem to let it go. Honestly, if she could have actually found somebody better than you, bro, she would have done so, and she didn't. She took forever, threatened to break up with you, and never did, just like you. Like, honestly, to me, it's just kind of funny the way she posted all of these little exposés and all this proof of shit, and she was just as bad at fixing their relationship, or at least fixing what she didn't like about her life, as he was. And I'm not saying we all got it figured out right, but good lord. You would think one time maybe in their relationship there would just be a normal conversation, but it just always seemed like two 5-year-olds having a fight over nothing in all of their messages, honestly. See, there's having a problem, right? And then there's refusing to solve that problem just to make things worse and just to make the other person feel worse. And that just seems like that's all they wanted to do. Couldn't put their pride aside for their cat, man. Imagine these two people with a goddamn child. They couldn't put pride away, couldn't put that shit in the back burner for a cat. Cat doesn't even know what the fuck they're talking about. I imagine him talking to his cat about his ex falsifying police reports about how abusive he was, because who else is he gonna lie to about that? Other than, you know, the entire internet. It's another one of the topics he brought up. And his cat's just looking at him the same way mine does when she's begging for food. Like, putting a child in that situation would have been detrimental. Shit, ImAllexx in the gene pool would have been detrimental, to be honest. This whole scandal honestly might have just saved us from... You know what? Never mind, bro. That's fucked. But back to the false police investigation. Turns out that wasn't false at all, because she shows proof on her Twitter that she filed the report. I don't know how far it went. I didn't read the whole thing. I just knew that it was proof of the police reports. Honestly, that whole video he made was kind of mumbo jumbo. Just a whole bunch of jumbled mess. It felt like he made it, like, in a day. It felt like he spent about as much time as I do on my videos on his. He made a big deal about her pushing him, even though it was her pushing him off of her. So it doesn't really make his situation look any better, of course. Keeping it real, the way I see it, I feel like he was just better off not saying anything at all. Like, if you were gonna make this video, I feel like it should have been something that could have changed people's perception of you, bro. It's been a year. Everybody's mindset on you is set in stone. Everybody knows that you were abusive, like, on all parts, right? She might have been too, but who cares? You were so adamant on being that guy on YouTube, that knowledgeable, intellectual guy that has all the knowledge and all the know-how, all the status, right? Why should we give a fuck about your girlfriend that we hardly know? You were the one known for giving people little to no time to respond to their allegations, false or not, right? Why should we treat you any different at all? And all that just for it to be just a bunch of bullshit, really. Just for you to say, yeah, I was abusive, but so was she. Ha. Nobody cares. We don't know who she is. The only thing I really care about involving her is someone saying that she had, like, threatened to strangle her cat or some shit. And this is just some random on Twitter. So if that's not true, whatever. But if it is, she's a monster, right? Whatever. I've only known her as, like, a pure soul victim for about a year. And that was apparently debunked by your video. That's all we got. Doesn't really mean much to me, man. And that definitely didn't help you. But that's basically the whole situation in a very condensed amount of time. There's no point in watching the video if you just watch this one. I basically saved you an hour and 40 minutes of your life. You're welcome. Matter of fact, bro, don't thank me. You know, I don't do this for the notoriety, for the money, right? But it's definitely a good benefit. Look, in all seriousness, this will be the last time I'm talking about it, alright? This was a good little thing to catch up on. It was kind of useless getting this video from ImAllexx, but glad we could go through it. Seeing this guy lose, it's like a breath of fresh air. But I don't condone abuse on anybody, okay? Alright? I'm just saying. Regardless, thank you guys so much for watching today's video. If you did enjoy it, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, comment down below so I can go hard it. And yeah, I'll see you when I see you. I don't know, tomorrow, day after. We'll see. Later, man.